Hi guys, Matt V's Movies back for another video, and today is another 3D review, and the film we're going to be looking at is The Mummy. So this is the 2017 Mummy film starring Tom Cruise. A really nice slip cover there that I bought, a custom slip. It does contain the 3D edition, which we're going to be reviewing today. Got the Blu-ray in there as well. So yeah, going to get into this review today on the channel. After Sergeant Nick and Corporal Chris call an airstrike on an enemy stronghold, they stumble upon the tomb of Princess Anamant. The princess is set free and Nick has to fight for his life. Okay, so on to some trivia about the film. The zero gravity scene took 64 takes and was shot for 2 days in a special plane that was lined in padded green fabric to cover in reference marks. The plane would fly to high altitude, then dive along a parabolic path, falling at the same rate as the gravitational pull. This has also been used for several films in the past, including Apollo 13. It was invented by NASA, where it's used for zero-G training for astronauts. Reportedly, a lot of the crew got nauseous during the scenes and vomited, except for the main stars, Tom Cruise and Annabella Wallis, who are really proud of the stunt. And finally, this film was intended to be the first instalment in a film universe known as Dark Universe. Javier Bardem had already been announced as Frankenstein's monster in Bill Condon's Bride of Frankenstein, and Johnny Depp was gearing up to play the character in The Invisible Man. Other movies planned were The Creature of the Black Lagoon, The Wolfman, Van Helsing and Dracula, as well as Dark Army, where several of the monsters would team up. However, plans for a shared film narrative were cancelled after the film was a critical and commercial failure. Okay, so my thoughts on this film. I've seen this film before, and yeah, okay, it's nothing great. It's one of these popcorn films. You can pop it on, don't have to think too much about it. Yes, it was, as I've said in the trivia, going to set up a new dark universe. Unfortunately, this bombed, so that didn't take place. But I didn't mind the story. Obviously, Tom Cruise is always entertaining in the roles that he is in. We also have Russell Crowe playing Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in the film, and I thought he did a pretty good job of kind of overseeing the sort of organisation that's sort of trying to capture the mummy. Costumes look great in this. A lot of authentic sort of looking costumes from Egypt. It's set in various locations, mainly in sort of London, sort of as we get into the main part of the film. But I found it an entertaining watch, despite the fact that this sort of was setting up things for the future. I kind of just accept it for what it is. Good entertainment, good fun. Yeah, I really didn't mind it. Okay, so on to the 3D review. The usual sort of depth that you get with most 3D films. Some notable scenes which I think kind of stood out for me were the underwater scenes, where Tom Cruise is swimming to try and save Annabella, I think her name is, and he's being chased by sort of the Knights of the Templar zombies. And like I say, 3D always looks good in water. You get a great sense of depth. There are some scenes as well early in the film where you see helicopters flying over sort of areas. And again, you can always get a good sense of depth with those kind of shots. Yeah, there weren't many pop outs in this. There was one scene that I can think of where there's a bird strike on the plane that they're in, which they're carrying the mummy from Mesopotamia, or is now known as Iraq, to London, and there's a bird strike, and all these birds come through the cockpit window, and some of them do sort of come out of the screen, so it does sort of make you jump a bit. But on the whole, it's mainly sort of a lot of depth in this film. Nothing amazing, and again, I often find with just the depth of 3D, you almost get used to it after a while of watching the film, and it almost just becomes sort of part of the film. So in some ways you almost forget that you're watching through a 3D. But on the whole, not a bad transfer. I wouldn't say anything amazing. The underwater scenes are quite good. But if I was rating this, I'd think I'd give it probably 2.5 out of 5. Nothing amazing for the 3D transfer. Nice sound, Atmos sound in it. You're getting some good height effects, surrounds and backs. Reasonable, but nothing amazing. But yeah, I mean, I didn't mind the film. Certainly not one of the better mummy films. Obviously, a very different sort of take on the mummy this time round. But yeah, overall, I didn't mind it. So that's the end of the review. If you've enjoyed this 3D review, then keep your eye on the channel. There's going to be more 3D review films coming up throughout the year. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Click the subscribe button down below. Come and join the channel. As I say, this is going to be a new series of 3D reviews, and I'm going to create a 3D playlist for all you 3D enthusiasts. So yeah, be sure to keep notified. Click the bell notification so you'll know when new 3D reviews are going to be coming up. Please give the video a thumbs up. That really does help out the channel, and it tells YouTube that you like these sorts of 3D reviews, and that encourages me to create more content for you to enjoy. Why not leave a comment down below? What did you think of this 3D review? I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. And thanks ever so much for watching the video. Take care and see you next time. Bye now.